YouTube, what is the deal? It is your boy, your man, your Royals, the often imitated, never duplicated, the one and only Enrique Prince, also known as Prince the Trucker. I hope everybody is having a wonderful day today. Thank you so much for taking time out to click the video and engage in the royal conversation that we are going to have today. Per usual, please make sure you hit that like button to support this video. Subscribe to the channel if you are coming across my channel for the first time. And don't forget to hit that hype button as well to push out this content further into the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for all my returning and new subscribers. You dig? You know, YouTube, as I began my day with a fresh cup of coffee and started my drive across the Americas, I began to think about how easily distracted we are from all the negative aspects we hear on the news and maybe from other people within the world. Not just overall, but especially in trucking. And I get it. You know, we've talked about this in previous videos. Everything ain't peachy cream. But on the other side of that coin, I also thought to myself, well, if people don't know the impact that trucking has, the service that we provide, and how important it is to our American economy, how can they have an appreciation for it? If people don't know the origins of trucking and where it came from and how it started, how can they want to be a part of it? And most importantly, if truckers nationwide stop trucking today, how would it impact every single person in everyday life? Instead of focusing on the negative, I wanted to give a different insight for those people that might be interested in the trucking industry and just want to learn a little bit about these three topics. Because it's not all negative, there are definitely some positives at hand. It all got to you and me the same way on a truck. I know we don't think about it often, but trucking is the quiet heartbeat of America. It's the system that keeps everything running, right? Our stores, our hospitals, our factories, and our homes. If the truck stops, literally, America stops. Again, today I want to talk about something most people overlook, and that's how the trucking industry became the backbone of our economy. We're going to talk about why it's so important and what would actually happen if it all came to a sudden halt. All right, so let's briefly talk about the origins of trucking, how it all began, right? Let's take it back to the beginning. Before there were big rigs, long hauls, or diesel engines, America ran on railroads and horses. Y'all know the script. Goods moved slow, cities grew around train tracks, and travel between states and across terrain took days. You could just imagine carrying a whole bunch of goods on an old wagon. You dig what I'm saying? Then came the early 1900s, the birth of the motorized truck. These early machines were small, clunky, and rough on dirt roads. But they represented something new: the freedom of movement. According to the research I've done, when World War I broke out, the U.S. military started using trucks to move supplies. Imagine that. The U.S. military. Soldiers came home, trained in driving and repairing them, and a new generation of American truckers was born. As the country built more roads and highways, as you can imagine, trucking took off. The 1930s and 40s brought better engines, stronger suspensions, and expanded interstate networking. By the time World War II ended, trucking wasn't just a side industry any longer. It actually became a force. With all the continued developments of machinery when it comes to the trucks and the network ability, truckers were delivering goods faster, farther, and more reliably than trains ever could. They connected small towns to big cities. They kept businesses alive between all coasts. And just like that, trucking became more than a mode of transportation. It literally became the life and blood of commerce. All right. Well, now that we have at least an educated and somewhat brief perspective on the origins of trucking, let's talk about the trucking industry and our American economy. From the 1900s, let's fast forward to today. Here's some facts. Over 70% of all freight in the United States, 70%, that's about 11 billion tons every year, moves by truck. 11 billion tons. Think about that number. Every piece of food, fuel, medicine, raw material, or package that enters or leaves a city probably spent part or most of its journey on a truck. The trucking industry supports over 3.5 million professional drivers and millions more in logistics, mechanics, dispatchers, and let's not forget the manufacturers. It's one of the few industries that touches every corner of American life, from the farm to the factory, and even your front porch. Without trucks, grocery stores would run dry in days. Gas stations would indefinitely shut down. Construction would stop, and hospitals would lose access to all supplies. Trucking isn't just part of the American economy. It is the economy, right? And yet most people never stop to think about it. I think it's fair to say that most of us take for granted that when we walk into a store, the shelves will be full. We expect next day shipping without asking how it's possible. We rely on drivers we'll never meet to keep our world running. Oh yeah, and that's rain, snow, or shine. These men and women face long hours, tough conditions, and definitely time away from home. All so that the rest of us can live in comfort. We cross mountains, battle traffic, fight fatigue. We have to deal with regulations, breakdowns, tight and strict deadlines. But we keep going because we know that without our truckers, everything slows down. For us, trucking isn't just a job. It's a calling. It's a lifestyle. It's long nights on the interstate, sunrise, fresh cups of coffee at the truck stop, and knowing the whole country depends on what's in the trailer behind us. So now that we have a little bit more insight of how important the American trucker is to our everyday life and economy, let's flip the coin and talk briefly about if all the truckers of America stopped at the same time. Now let's imagine something unthinkable for a moment. What if, for just 1 week, one full week, 7 days, every truck in America stopped moving? I looked up a projected chart that breaks down the effects from day 1 to day 7, and this is what it says. Day 1, gas stations start running out of fuel. Supermarkets begin to empty. Hospitals notice shortages in basic supplies like oxygen, IV bags, and medicine. Day 2. Mail and packages pile up in warehouses. Online orders stop shipping. Manufacturers can't get their raw materials, so production would slow tremendously or halt altogether. Day 3. Grocery store shelves are half empty. Milk, bread, meat, and produce start disappearing. Trash stops being collected. Day 4 through day 5. Food shortages hit small towns first. Water treatment plants can't get the chemicals they need. Emergency services begin to struggle. Fire trucks, ambulances, and police vehicles start rationing fuel. And on day 6 and 7, it is projected that the entire economy would crash. Hospitals would indefinitely go into crisis mode. Millions would lose access to essentials. Businesses would start to close. And our society would start to break down. And all of that, keep in mind, in just 1 week. When you think about it, YouTube, the truth is, that's really how fragile our modern world really is. And how dependent it is on the trucking industry. So I remind you, when trucks stop, the flow of America stops with us. The trucking industry isn't just delivering products. It's delivering the stability of the life we enjoy on a day-to-day basis. So in conclusion, YouTube, with the real conversation that just took place between you and I, what can we do moving forward when it comes to our perspective of becoming a truck driver, knowing a trucker, and the importance of how we affect our American economy, the origins, and what would happen if we stop? Well, ultimately, it's seeing the roads and the highways a little differently. The next time you're driving down the interstate or the highway and a semi-truck passes you, try not to just see it as a big machine taking up space, but rather try to look at it from the eyes of someone who sees the system that keeps each and every one of us alive. Try to see the driver who's been on the road for hours, weeks, and months on end to make sure that our shelves stay stocked, our lights stay on, and our families have what it needs. Us truckers are the unseen workforce behind every convenience in our daily lives. We don't just move freight, we move the nation forward. Facts. And to go a level further, we do it with pride. Because trucking is more than just horsepower, diesel, steel, and a beautiful truck. Furthermore, it's dedication, grit, and sacrifice. It's America's pulse, steady, strong, and rolling down every interstate and highway from coast to coast. So please, the next time you see a trucker, remember this. We're not just carrying goods, we're carrying the weight of an entire economy on our shoulders. Respect the road, respect our drivers, because without trucking, America stops moving. YouTube, truckers and trucker ladies worldwide, I hope you enjoyed this breakdown of how important truckers and trucking is to our American economy, the roles that it serves, the origins of how it began, and what effect it would have on our everyday lives if trucking were to just stop. Please make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. Hit that hype button too so this video can get out to more people in the algorithm. And as always, please feel free to share your comments, your thoughts down in the comment section below. With that being said, I'm about to get up out of here, take me a shower, eat me a good meal, because I have a load to drop off in California tomorrow. It is the often imitated, never duplicated, the one and only Enrique Prince, also known as Prince the Trucker. Thank you once again for your time, and I hope to see you in the next one. You do understand that though, right? Much love and respect.